Imagine you're a fine-tuned telescope.
Now, imagine trying to work in the middle of a neon-lit carnival.
Pause. If that feels like your life, science has a revelation: you aren't malfunctioning. You are simply operating on a level of awareness most people couldn't even handle. Think about it. You walk into a chaotic airport terminal. Suddenly, it feels like someone plugged your brain directly into a live electrical socket. The screens? They're searing your vision. The crowd? It's physical static against your skin. A relentless roar of movement makes your heart race. You look around, and everyone else is fine. They're laughing. They're eating. They're just traveling.
Meanwhile, you're standing there like a high-speed camera, capturing every individual raindrop while the rest of the world only sees a blurry storm.
Here's the reality. You aren't broken. You aren't anti-people. And you're certainly not weird. Your brain is simply rendering the world in a much higher resolution than everyone else. You know, perhaps that's the real secret. It's not a defect. It's a superpower. But, let's look closer. Number 5, your nervous system is a high-performance engine running far too many background tasks.
The average brain has a natural gatekeeper.
It's a psychological muffler for the world. Most people walk into a crowd and their brain just filters. It says, ignore the screaming toddler. Ignore the siren. Ignore the smell of cheap coffee. But your brain? It captures every frame in ultra-high definition with full sensory immersion. Researchers call this sensory processing sensitivity. Your mind doesn't just observe the environment, it absorbs it. Every half-finished sentence. Every subtle frown. Every tiny shift in temperature.
It's like drinking from a fire hose while everyone else is sipping through a straw.
No wonder you're fried after 30 minutes at a wedding.
Peer-reviewed data suggests that highly sensitive individuals analyze cues with more intensity than the general public. Your neurons are pulling a double shift while others are on cruise control.
That mental burnout? It isn't laziness.
It's your brain finishing a triathlon while everyone else is taking a light stroll. And here's the part they don't tell you: this hyper-attunement is why our species survived. While the tribe ignored the subtle snap of a twig, people like you sensed the predator first.
Your sensitivity isn't a bug in the code. It's an evolutionary masterstroke that kept us alive. You aren't too sensitive. You are calibrated exactly right. This isn't a flaw, it's a high-level capability that most people simply don't have the hardware to run. Number 4, it isn't the presence of people that depletes you. It's the absence of authenticity. Pause. Crowds aren't just a sensory nightmare. They are an emotional tax.
In large groups, people perform.
The hollow laughter. The rehearsed "I'm great." The entire wax museum where everyone is desperately trying to convince you they are breathing. You
detect that insincerity from across the street.
You feel the micro tremors in a voice. You see the tension in a forced smile. You see how someone's energy contradicts their words. You don't hate humans. You hate the script. You hate the shallow chatter. You hate small talk that feels like eating dry sand. Experts call this social masking fatigue. It's the reason you'd trade a dozen loud parties for one genuine conversation at 3 a.m. Your mind is starving for substance, not background noise. Findings from major universities suggest that those who avoid large social gatherings often possess higher emotional intelligence. You aren't socially inept. You are socially discerning. You don't need 100 contacts. You need 3 real souls. That isn't being antisocial, that's being wise. For you, being alone isn't about isolation. It's about integrity. It is the only space where you don't have to edit, filter, or minimize yourself to fit into someone else's comfort zone. Number 3. Your neurochemistry is fundamentally distinct. This is where the science gets fascinating. Researchers have mapped it out. Introverts have a different relationship with dopamine. Dopamine is the reward chemical.
When extroverts engage with a crowd, their brains are like solar panels that only activate in the midday sun.
But yours? Your brain is a bioluminescent organism that glows best in the deep dark. They feel fueled and unstoppable. You get flooded. It's your brain's way of saying, system overload. Exit immediately. Return to base. That is why you don't feel pumped after a party. You feel like you just finished a marathon in a heavy lead suit. Here is the secret: your brain prioritizes acetylcholine instead. It's a neurotransmitter that rewards deep introspection and calm.
While others need the external world to feel alive, you need the internal world to access your brilliance. You aren't avoiding people, you're just chemically optimized for depth over distraction. Scientists at Harvard found that introverted brains have a higher density of gray matter in the prefrontal cortex, the area for complex thought. So, when you're sitting in silence doing nothing, your brain is actually doing everything.
You aren't killing time. You are synthesizing life at a level most people never even touch. That isn't seclusion. That is incubation.
It's why you feel most vibrant in the quiet stretches.
Driving late at night. A bookstore at opening hour. A walk through the woods where the only rhythm is your own heartbeat. Those moments aren't empty. They are where your mind finally gets to breathe. Number 2, you are an emotional lightning rod. And that is a gift, not a curse. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly knew the vibe was toxic? Even if everyone was grinning, you could feel the friction. The resentment. The heavy cloud hanging over the table. That's because people who shy away from crowds often possess hyperempathy.
Your mirror neurons are firing at a much higher rate.
Think about a crowded mall.
You aren't just managing your own feelings. You are absorbing the stress, the anger, and the hidden sadness of every person walking past you.
It's like walking into a room like a sponge dropped into a bucket of mixed ink.
You can't help but turn the color of everyone else's unspoken pain.
No wonder you want to leave.
But here is the beauty: this makes you one of the most perceptive people in any room.
You understand the human condition on a level others can't see.
You look past the masks.
You hear what isn't being said. And that is an incredible rarity. Number 1, you aren't hiding from life, you are guarding your peace. Our society is obsessed with the loud, the busy, and the constantly connected. If you aren't at every event, people label you as boring or stuck up. But here is the truth: choosing tranquility over chaos is a radical act of courage. You have realized something that most people spend their entire lives running away from. Silence isn't an empty room, it's a workshop where you forge your strongest weapons. It's full of clarity. It's full of vision. Your solitude isn't about being lonely, it's about being connected to yourself. It's where your sharpest thoughts are born. You aren't missing the party. You are opting out of a game that wasn't built for your hardware. And that takes serious guts. So, the next time someone asks, "Why are you so quiet?" just smile. They don't realize that you are experiencing the world in a way they literally cannot. You see the depth. You feel the resonance. In a world that never stops shouting, you are a lighthouse. You don't compete with the sirens of the city. You simply stand in the dark to keep the ships from breaking. Truth is, maybe the world doesn't need more noise. It needs more lighthouses. Like you. Think about it.